If you've ever grabbed a loaf of sourdough at the grocery store thinking you're making a better choice, we need to talk, because I bought 10 loaves labeled sourdough and only one of them is actually traditional sourdough. And once you see why, you're gonna look at sourdough completely differently. And listen, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dietitian or a nutritionist. I'm just a normal person who wants to feel better about what I'm eating, make smarter choices at the grocery store, maybe lose a few pounds, and feed my family the best that I can. So if that's you too, this is something you're gonna wanna see, because a lot of these look really convincing. I mean, this one says delicious slow baked artisan bread. Ooh, that sounds good. This one says crisp crust and tangy flavor. All good things, right? And some of them actually look really, really good. I'm excited to try some of these, especially the world's best sourdough. Like, they all really sound amazing, right? But before we break into all of these, we need to define what we're actually looking for. When I say traditional sourdough, I'm talking about bread made with just a few simple ingredients: flour, water, sourdough starter, and salt. That's it. And I have a loaf of my sourdough bread right here that I just made to show you what my traditional sourdough bread looks like. There is no commercial yeast in traditional sourdough bread. There's no long ingredient list and no added things like vinegar to fake that sour flavor. And yes, I said vinegar. And I think you're gonna be surprised because several of these actually do include vinegar. And the reason this matters is because traditional sourdough, it smells so good, it takes time. In my method, the way I teach beginners, it's a 2-day process. You're feeding your starter, mixing your dough, letting it ferment, shaping it, then we're scoring it and baking it the next day. And some people go even longer than that and let their dough cold ferment in the refrigerator for several days. And that time, it isn't just inconvenient, it's the whole point of sourdough, because during that time, fermentation is happening. Now, like I said earlier, I'm not a doctor or a dietitian or a nutritionist, but a lot of people choose sourdough because they believe that the fermentation process is where some of those benefits actually come in, whether that's how it feels in your body, how it digests, or just the depth of flavor. That all comes from time. So if a bread is made quickly using commercial yeast and then something like vinegar is added to make it taste sour, it might taste similar, but it's not the same process at all, because sourdough isn't just a flavor that we can fake with some vinegar, it's a method. And here's where things get interesting. In some European countries, there are actually guidelines around what can be labeled as sourdough, meaning it has to be made through natural fermentation. But here in the US, there really aren't any strict rules around that. I mean, whatever you want to call sourdough, you can. So companies can label something as sourdough, even if it's made with commercial yeast and a bunch of other ingredients, like a really long ingredient list. And what's kind of ironic is that this is how bread used to be made. Before commercial yeast existed, people made bread with wild fermentation, just flour, water, salt, and thyme. That is traditional sourdough. Now, before we get into these, I just want to say this doesn't mean grocery store is bad. There's absolutely a place for it. It's affordable, it's convenient, it lasts longer, and it feeds a lot of people, and that's important. I've bought plenty of grocery store bread myself over the years. This is really just about understanding what you're actually getting so you can make the choice that's right for you and your family. All right, let's get into these. I've got 10 different loaves here, all labeled sourdough, and I purchased them all at my local grocery store. Now, let's take a look and see what they actually are, okay? Now, just looking at the bread to start with, I can tell you that several of these just look like plain white sandwich bread. I mean, this one is super, super soft. All of these over here are really soft. Even this one is really soft. I think when we get over here, they're starting to look a little bit more like a traditional sourdough, but every single one of these was labeled as sourdough, okay? So we have sourdough bread, extra sourdough. This is San Francisco. Gotta love that, right? San Francisco sourdough. This is like the holy grail bread brand in Utah where I live. This is Grandma Sycamore's homemade bread, and this is her sourdough. And I mean, it's soft and fluffy. It looks like it would make a great sandwich. But let's take a look and see what's in some of these loaves, all right? Let's take a look at the ingredients here. Okay, this one has yeast in it. It's actually the third ingredient. Wheat flour, flour, water, yeast. And then also, let's see, do we have any vinegar in here? I don't see any vinegar, so that's a plus. But we have yeast, and then we also have sourdough. So if you're thinking, are they just labeling the sourdough starter as yeast, Heather? Maybe it actually is sourdough starter. On these bags, when you check the ingredient list, you'll see that they actually label them separately. So this one has water, wheat flour, water, yeast, and then rye sourdough. So you can actually see that they're listing both things differently. And I was wrong. It actually has vinegar on here as an ingredient. So they're adding vinegar to give you that traditional sourdough tang, but they are using commercial yeast in addition to a sourdough starter or a fermented yeast or a fermented sourdough, fermented flour product. So this is like what I would consider just basic white bread that they've added a little bit of sourdough in. I mean, there's more yeast in here than sourdough starter. Let's take a look at this one, which honestly, they both feel really good. They're nice and soft. Let's look at the ingredients here. This one, a very long ingredient list. So we've got wheat flour, water, yeast, and then wheat sourdough. Also, let's see, natural flavor, soy lecithin, and vinegar. Okay, so yeast and vinegar in addition to the sourdough starter in this one as well. Are you starting to see a trend here? They're actually adding vinegar to the bread to make it taste tangy so that you think it's sourdough because it has that signature tang. But remember what I told you earlier, sourdough is a baking method. It's not a flavor, okay? We're not just adding vinegar to some bread that we've made with yeast and calling it sourdough. I mean, I guess that's what we kind of are doing, but that doesn't make it traditional sourdough. Honestly, if you called any of these breads sourdough in Europe, I think people over there might actually have a heart attack because they know what good bread is. Okay, so this one, I mean, this is a brand everybody knows. I have bought plenty of this bread. So like I said, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's just, to me, it's like you're labeling it as sourdough and it's not traditional sourdough, and you should know that. So here we've got wheat flour. It's all enriched, so you have things like riboflavin, iron, folic acid, all that stuff. Water, sourdough, so we've got sourdough. We also have yeast, sugar, vegetable oil, salt. So I don't see any vinegar in here, but this one is made with yeast as well. And honestly, to cut through the chase, I'm just gonna tell you that they're pretty much all made with yeast. If we move to this side of the table, I mean, even this is from the bakery at one of our local grocery stores. It was one of the more expensive loaves. And when you look at this, it does kind of look like sourdough, right? It looks like this is a traditional loaf of sourdough bread. But when we look at the ingredients, we can see that it's made with yeast. So it does have, it's got salt, yeast, malt. It does have some sourdough in it, but it's also made with yeast, okay? Same thing with this one. I mean, there's just basically yeast in all of these, and a lot of them have soybean oil in it and yeast. It also has sourdough starter. So again, they do list the sourdough starter differently, or they'll call it like fermented yeast or cultured wheat, things like that, so that you know that the yeast and the starter are different things. Now this one, I'm really impressed with this one. Take a look at this bread, you guys. This looks like sourdough bread. I mean, if you served me this, I would think, okay, this is a traditional loaf of sourdough bread. I love this open crumb, which is just kind of the holes, the structure inside the bread is nice and open. This looks to me like a traditional sourdough bread. It kind of smells like rye bread. I wonder if there's some rye in here. Let's taste it. Feels a little bit dry. I don't love the flavor of this, and it is a little bit dry. It doesn't have any of that creamy or custardy texture that a traditional sourdough bread that's made really well will have, but let's take a look here. Enriched wheat flour, water, rye, so there is rye in here, and whole grain flour, wheat, gluten. A lot of them have the addition of gluten, and this is made with yeast. There's yeast in here. They did a really good job because it looks like traditional sourdough, but it's made with yeast. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's keep going and see if we can find one that's not actually made with yeast. This is a great brand. This is a Supreme sourdough. Let's take a look. It's organic. I can appreciate that. Let's see. Grain and seed mix, wheat gluten. Okay, this one does not have yeast in it. So this is a traditional sourdough, except that it does have organic dried vinegar. So we've got some vinegar in here, but no yeast. So this to me says that this is a long fermented bread. If it's just made with sourdough starter, it has to be long fermented because otherwise there's no way that the bread would rise, right? That fermentation process has to happen. So although this one does have vinegar, it doesn't have yeast. So out of the 10 loaves that I have bought at the grocery store, so far we have found one that's not made with yeast that I would consider a traditional sourdough, although they do add vinegar to it. And then last but not least, this is the most expensive loaf that I purchased. I think it was around $8. It's from the bakery department at one of the more higher end grocery stores here in Utah. This is Harmon's for anybody that's local. And I mean, this looks great. This bread looks fantastic. It has a beautiful crust, okay, nice and crusty there. I love that. Beautiful interior structure for a sandwich bread for sourdough. Let's take a smell. This smells like a sourdough bread that you would get at an artisan bakery or that you would make yourself. So let's see what's in here. We've got organic wheat, water, levain, which is your sourdough starter, and salt. That's it. 4 ingredients, okay? Flour, water, salt, and sourdough starter. This, out of the bunch, is the only loaf of traditional sourdough bread that I bought. And I'm going to tell you that I went to 2 grocery stores and bought every loaf of sourdough bread that I could find. Okay, so this is the one at Harmon's in the bakery department. I think here it was $7.49. That's the exact cost. So let's taste it and see. This one's good. This is a good sourdough. It actually has a lot more of a sourdough flavor than this one that I tasted. This one doesn't taste like sourdough really at all. This one definitely tastes like sourdough. Let's taste this one. This is the Sara Lee sourdough bread. It's very soft. This one tastes nothing like sourdough. It's kind of sweet, like a white bread. It just tastes like a nice soft white sandwich bread. It does not taste anything like sourdough. Doesn't feel like sourdough either. This one is the rustic oven sourdough bread. Let's taste this one. This one is soft. And again, they're all good, but this doesn't taste like sourdough bread at all. There's no comparison between this one, which is a traditional sourdough, and this one, which is labeled sourdough, but uses yeast. I can't remember if this one uses vinegar as well, but this tastes just like a nice white bread. This actually tastes like sourdough. All right, so quick note. I told you earlier, they're adding vinegar because they want to mimic that sour flavor that you get from the long fermentation process. So instead of actually fermenting the dough, they're adding vinegar to kind of mimic that. I call that sour faux, right? It's like you're trying to make it taste like sourdough bread, but not doing the entire process. So out of 10 loaves at the grocery store, we found 2 that are sourdough, although one has vinegar in it, and then one is just the traditional with 4 ingredients: flour, water, salt, and sourdough starter. If this is helping you understand sourdough a little bit better, make sure you like and subscribe. I've got so many sourdough step-by-step videos breaking down the entire process in a way that actually makes sense. So why is this happening? Because real sourdough takes time, and time doesn't scale well in a factory. Commercial yeast makes bread rise quickly and consistently. And listen, there's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes I bake bread with commercial yeast too. I love a light and fluffy sandwich bread that my kids want to make peanut butter and jelly on, right? There's nothing quite like it. So, but that is why these breads, a lot of them have the addition of yeast, because that long process doesn't really do well in a factory. And those extra ingredients help with things like shelf life, texture, and keeping the bread stable from the factory to the store to your kitchen. And honestly, that's important, because without that, we'd have a lot more food waste and bread wouldn't be nearly as accessible or affordable. So I'm definitely not knocking it. And it's not that any of this bread is bad. In fact, all of them that I tasted good. They're just made differently. And honestly, after what I saw at one of the world's largest baking conferences, this didn't surprise me at all. I recently went to a huge conference. There were massive booths with machines making donuts, bread, bagels, everything you can imagine. It was kind of like a dream, especially for somebody who loves baked goods. I mean, you could buy a 50-pound mix of whatever, add water to it, and boom, you've got a finished product, whether that's donuts, cakes, bread, whatever. There were even ingredients that were designed to replace things like chocolate for half the cost of real chocolate. And to be fair, it all tasted good, like really good, because they were sampling everything and all the machines were up and running and you could walk through. We'll try to insert some of the video from that so you can see what that was like. But honestly, I think I ate probably 20 donuts, because who can resist a freshly baked donut, right? And the stuff was just everywhere. But to be honest with you, I was also sick for 2 days after that. Now, was that because I ate way too much? Probably, but I also don't normally eat like that. We tend to run more of an ingredient household versus a packaged household. Now, at this point in my life, really, I just try to cook a little bit more from ingredients, and not because I'm perfect, but because I just feel better when I do. My tummy feels better, and I don't really have tummy aches when I make things at home. But that conference was definitely eye-opening, because I saw the benefits of mass production of food and baked goods, making them available to everybody. But I also saw what goes into that, and I looked at some of the ingredients, and I made the choice for me that if I can just bake the stuff myself at home using ingredients that I know, I feel better when I eat that way. And maybe you feel the same way. So out of all 10 loaves, I would really only consider 1, maybe 2 to be actually traditional sourdough, and it came from a bakery inside a higher end grocery store here in Utah, and that's Harmon's. Now I also would say that this one is a traditional sourdough. It's not made with yeast, and it's got a lot of ingredients, but they're all good organic ingredients. There is the addition of vinegar, but you know what? There's a lot of seeds and things happening in this bread, and I think maybe they just need the vinegar for a little bit more flavor, but it is a long fermented bread that I know personally if I ate, my tummy would feel pretty good and not so bad. I've got a lot of bread here. I'm already kind of known as the neighborhood baker, but I might be like the neighborhood bread delivery person today because we've got so much bread that I don't know what I'm going to do with all of it. But let's talk about why traditional sourdough costs more, because it does. If you were to buy this bread at a farmer's market, and if it was my bread, it would cost $12. Now, why does it cost $12 when some of these were like $4 or $5 or maybe even a little bit lower if you got them on sale? And that's because it's ingredients, it's time, and it's skill. If you add commercial yeast, your bread is going to rise pretty much every time. But sourdough doesn't work like that. And anybody who's ever tried to make sourdough for the first time can definitely relate. It's slower, it's more hands-on, and honestly, it can be a struggle to get right, especially when you're new. So when you see a $4, $5, or $6 loaf of bread labeled as sourdough, and then you see a $10 or $12 loaf that came from a bakery, you're not just paying for bread, you're paying for the process behind it, the skill, the technique, the 2 days that it took to make this loaf of organic sourdough bread. And honestly, that's why learning how to make your own sourdough bread is so worth it, because you get to control exactly what goes into it. Flour, water, salt, starter, and that's it. No additives, no preservatives, no guessing what's actually in your bread. And the other thing, it's surprisingly affordable. You can buy a bag of flour and some salt for just a few dollars and make multiple loaves of sourdough bread from it. So when you break it down, you're making high quality traditional sourdough for a fraction of what you'd pay at the grocery store or even at a bakery. You're getting better ingredients, you understand the process, and you're saving money at the same time. All things that I can get behind, especially right now. And if you don't know how to make sourdough yet, or you've tried and it just hasn't worked out for you, I've got so many beginner-friendly sourdough videos that walk you through the entire process step by step. I'll link a few of my favorites for you right here so you can get started. Because if you've ever stood in the bread aisle at the grocery store feeling confused, it's not you. The labeling is confusing. And listen, you know I'm not a doctor, or dietitian, or a nutritionist. I'm just a normal person trying to make better choices, feel better, and feed my family the best that I can. And now you know exactly what to look for, because sourdough isn't just a flavor that can be mimicked with some vinegar. It's a process.